Alright, here we are moving on to the Shapton Glass 120. And so the goal is going to be to start adding some new scratch marks, but in a different direction so that we can tell what is new from old. Press down. Make sure we're pressing down on the bevel. And let's go. We have that nice slurry that's building. At first, when I used the Atoma 140, I pushed back and forth parallel. As you can see now, I have probably I don't know, call that a 20-degree angle to the stone. And again, that's so I can create scratches that are in a different direction from the ones we have from the last stone, so that we can see when we're making progress. And by progress, what I mean is we want to remove all those scratches that were parallel to the stone to now one that are 20 degrees from the stone. See if we're starting to get those. Yeah, absolutely. Something like that. All different direction. Beautiful. So much quicker than when we used the Atoma. Because now we laid down the groundwork. And so you can already see the change of angle. Alright, so now we're moving on to the Shapton Glass 220 from the Shapton Glass 120. Getting progressively finer and finer so we can make the striations go away and end up with a really nice smooth finish. This stone I can already tell is drinking some water up more, and so we create striations on the last stone that were 20 degrees. Now we're going back to parallel because it's easiest that way. Making sure to press down on the bevel. You can already see those striations starting to change back to parallel, which is awesome. Amazing. Pretty much back to straight. Let's just do a few more passes. Really, though, it seems like the whole blade is, or I should say part of the blade is touching the steel. And though that's true, really most of the action happens right underneath my fingertips, because that's where I'm applying pressure. No need to always remove the blade off the stone. If you gotta realign your fingers, just stop and readjust those fingers. Ooh, pretty. This is like art. Alright, we got our band-aid to try to avoid, further cuts that aren't necessary, and now we're moving on to our Shapton Glass 500. Let's see how that affects this finger. You can already tell a huge difference moving from Shapton Glass 120 to 220 to 500 just in the way that the water soaks up. So now we're going back to our 20-degree angle. You can tell the sound is starting to get softer, quieter. That's because we're moving into the finer grit stones. Even the slurry is more liquid, less thick. These are absolutely phenomenal stones. I can't comment on other stones too much. I've only ever started with a shun combination. I think it was a 1000, 3000. And then I got into Shapton Glass, and I haven't needed to look back. So again, the goal now is to go from the last stone where I made parallel striations to the knife spine to creating roughly 20-degree striations. And only then will we know that we can move on to the next. Mainly applying pressure when I'm pushing the knife away from me as opposed to when I'm pulling back. Alright, we're getting close to the end. Now this is my favorite, the most used stone, of course, the Shapton 1000. We'll just be going up and down. Now that we have 20-degree striations, should be pretty fast. Then we'll move on to the 6000, and then we'll move on to the Jnat. So sit straight. I'm feeling this one's going to load really easily. What loading means is that as the steel comes off the knife, as opposed to just being suspended in the water and the liquid, it's going to go between the particles of the stone, which makes the stone less effective. But we're about to find out. That's just a feeling. Actually, I just realized we need to be creating 20-degree angle striations, so we can differentiate from the last stone. Maybe I'll take this Angora stone. Alright, so you're probably wondering what I'm doing with these candles and this stainless steel bowl. And what I'm doing is, when I heated up the tang and put it in the handle, I went a little too deep, so then of course I pushed it out. And now it's loose because I've essentially made the hole a little bit bigger. And so what I'm going to do, this is a trick I learned from Jacques, who he learned from Vin's Bites. So I'm going to break up some candles into smaller wax pieces. I'm going to add that wax to the bottom of the handle. I'm going to heat up the tang slightly, and then we're going to push it in, and we're going to have it hold in place basically with wax instead of epoxy or hot glue. Why? Why not? I've never tried this. Sounds fun. It's easy. I don't need to buy a new tool, i.e. glue gun, just for this one time that I might be using it. So instead I'll use candles that I've had from IKEA for who knows how long. So here we go. To make it easier to know how far I should be bringing the handle down, I did put this nifty little mark with the pencil. Carefully. And there you go. Really just get the line. So of course we'll let that set. We'll clean it up. Wow, that was easy. That was really cool. I'm really happy to put that line because essentially, yeah, that's perfect. Look at that. Neat. That is such an easy way to put a handle on. This mess will be super easy to take care of. Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you, Ben's Bites. Man, that's awesome. This beats epoxy. Sure, it has its disadvantages, but right now I'm just seeing the advantage. Amazing. How's that for easy cleanup? No turpentine necessary to remove epoxy. I'll use a wet towel and I'll finish this guy off. Alright, we're nearing the finish line. All we need to do now is add a new edge to the Fujiwara Maboroshi Santoku, and that's it, baby. That's the end of the personal project. Here we go. We're feeling for burr. As you can see, I also protected the bolster of the knife just in case I scuff it up by accident. The Shapton 1000 is quite a fast stone, which I like. Nice burr, a little bit more work here. Alright. Don't be afraid to stop often and double check. Better to pick up the progress as you go than end up pushing the burr a little bit too far. Alright, here we are, second to last step, using the Japanese natural stone that I own. Now, if this looks familiar, it's because this is an external hard drive. And if you're scratching your head wondering why am I using this as a base, well, Lubo from the Japanese made knife group told me I should. But if you're wondering why should I, well, it's because it's actually not working. And if you haven't seen that video on how I probably have right now the most expensive stone holder, the link will be up here. So let's get to it. Make a bit of a slurry with the Nagura. Alright guys, literally the last step. We've just gotten the knife off the Japanese natural stone. Now we're going to strop it. This is a brand new strop that I got from Nordquist Designs, just based out of Kelowna in Canada. And I got this awesome strop dressing, which I've never used before. I've never used strop dressing at all. I'm really excited to use this one because this one doesn't contain any wax, so it's not going to gunk up the strop. It's just a cream. So let's see how she does. Grab my trusty little tool. Don't know how much I should put, so all of this is going to be a learning experience. I imagine I probably want to cover most of it. Here, let's start here. This looks like a nice area. Alright, then we're going to start on the same, we're going to start on the same side that we sharpened, so here. That feels nice. That feels really good on the blade. It actually feels slightly gritty. Alright, let's wipe the blade down. I've gone through so many details during all these modifications. Now what say you we do the paper test. Guys, if you're here, man, what a journey. To say that I had many knife knowledge skill gaps that I surmounted is an understatement. I did so much to display it. I'm so proud of where I started to where I've come. I said at the beginning of the video I thought I might sell this knife, which is why I was gonna work on it and why I didn't really care if I made any mistakes. Not because it might be for someone else, but I don't know, just I've reconnected with this knife. And so thank you so much for following. We've done lots. We've removed the old handle, which was the wavy blue maple. We chipped the tip by trying to remove the handle, but then fixed the tip. We thinned the knife. We gave it a new edge, and we also polished the spine and the choil. And this is the result. I'll be showing you up close and personal. You see a shallot here because of course I just finished stropping it, and now I gotta make a pasta sauce tonight, so I figured might as well give this new knife, because that's what it feels like. It feels like a new knife. Might as well give this new knife some new life. Thank you so much for watching all this. I know it was a very lengthy video. There was a lot of mixed media, some pictures, some video footage from the cell phone, from the camera, but this whole process has taken quite a few days. And so I didn't want to be a slave to only this camera, the one I'm talking to you, the best quality one, the one that focuses really quick. And so I wanted to use everything at my disposal. I hope you found it helpful. Again, I'm not an expert. I did a lot of this for the first time. We put a new handle using wax. I've never done that before. I've never thinned the knife. I've never fixed a chip. I've never polished the spine. Really, all of it was new to me other than putting a new edge on it, which is something I do on all my other knives. So thank you so much for stopping by. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you can know when the next video is. And let me know, what did you think of this? It wasn't a restoration, but what did you think of this Santoku Makeover? Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me see if I can find some sexy music, either to show you the knife or for the shallot. And see you next time. You get me.